This lesson will demonstrate how to use TryParse to find out if user input is numeric or not numeric. I'm going to start a new project in a console, Visual C#, console application. I'm going to call it TryParse example. I'm going to make sure it's on my USB key. I'm going to select the right folder. And I'm going to start it up. So TryParse has a couple of functions. First function is that it can actually convert a string into a number. I'm going to get the user to type in a number. And when the user types in something, either through console.readline or a text box, it always comes in as a string. So that means when I create the variable, it's got to be a string variable. Oops. Now, if I want to treat this as a number, I've got to choose one of the numeric data types. The ones that we've learned are int and double. I'm going to use double. I'm telling the user to input a number. I haven't really specified if it's an integer number or a decimal number, so I should really treat their input as any possible number, which means a double is a better choice. So we have to declare a new variable that will store what they have. And so here it is, double number. Now here's the TryParse function. I'm going to use double.tryparse, and it takes two things. The first thing is the string that I want to convert. The string that I want to convert is stored in the variable input. That's what is saving the console.writeLine. Next, the second variable is the variable that I want to store their converted input. And I created the variable number over here. So I have to use this keyword out, and then I'm going to write number. So now I can print out the number, console.writeLine number over here. And when I run the program, I can type in number 1, 2, 3, 4. And it prints out again 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you might be wondering, what is the difference there? So let me just show you the difference between a string and a double data type. When I use a string variable and I try to add something to it, this is what happens. If I take the user's input and I add the number, let's say I add the number 56. I run the program. I'm going to type in 1, 2, 3, 4. When I add 56 to 1, 2, 3, 4, since this is a string, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you add together two strings, it literally just sticks them together. It's called concatenation. Now, I also have the converted input stored in this variable number. And we did the conversion right over here with TryParse. So let's see what happens when I do console.writeLine number plus 56. So I take 1, 2, 3, 4, and here it is. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. The first line is the number that the user types in. The second line is the converted number. So that's been converted into a double. The third line shows what happens when you take the original string 1, 2, 3, 4 and add 56. It sticks them together. The last number line shows the user's input after it's been converted and after we add 56 to it, so it's 1290. So you can see here, once we convert it to a double data type, when we add a number to it, it actually is treated as a mathematical number, and so it actually adds the way that we would in math, as opposed to adding two strings together, which is sticking them together. So there's how TryParse works to convert a number. I'm going to show you now how to check if it's actually a number. So what I mean by that is, if I run my program again, if I type in A, B, C, D, well, A, B, C, D is not a number at all. It's just a bunch of letters. And so the number that gets converted to is the number 0, because there's no numeric value to it. We can actually check as well that the user has not inputted a 0, rather that they have inputted something that is not numeric, if we use double inside of an if statement. Or sorry, the double.tryparse in an if statement. So I'm going to take what the user already has over here. I'm going to take what the user has already inputted, and I'm going to put it inside of an if statement. If bracket double.tryparse. And I'm going to write equals equals true. Okay? So I'm actually going to check if the user has typed in something that is a number by using the return value from the TryParse. TryParse is a function that returns true if the number or if the input that the user has is actually a number, and false if it's not actually a number. So using this if statement, I can determine whether or not the user has typed in a number. And I say you have typed in a number here. Otherwise, that's an else. Console.writeLine, not a number. Let me just document my if statement here. Okay, so here we are with an if statement and the TryParse. If I try to run this now, I can type in 1, 2, and there it says you have typed in a number. Converts the number 1, 2, and here's 1, 2 plus 56 if I don't convert the 1, 2. And here's 1, 2 plus 56 after I convert it into a double. Now, let me write one more time. If I type in A1, now that's not a number. It has a number in it, but because of the letter A, it can't be considered a number. Here we are. It says not a number. When I convert that, it converts into a 0. That's the end of TryParse.